Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see some coding interview questions. So basically, what we are going to do is we are going to solve some data structures and algorithm questions. So this question is an interesting question. So what you need to find on this one is so let me start a class here. So then I will I will I will start discussing about the problem and we will find a solution then. So here I am going to create a class here. So what name I will give testing class or this code overlap. So this is a code overlap. Yeah, the name is fine. So what we are going to do is you need the input we will get something like this 1 3 and it should be 2 4 and then maybe it's 2 5. So what it means is this is a start and end of a call. So so we are getting so many calls, so many clients are calling or something like that. So in a call center, right? In a call center, we have so many calls getting on. Some calls start on first minute, some calls start on second minute, some calls start on the third minute or something, and some ends in the third minute, some start in second minute and continue till the fourth minute. So that's the way these things are working. What we need to find is the maximum overlapping. So the first case, the first call started the first minute and it ends in the third minute. So if you are representing that kind of scenario in this board itself, that's the first step to write. That's the first step to solve these things. So first minute, second minute, third minute, fourth minute, fifth minute, sixth minute, 7 minutes. Okay. Then the first call start at first minute and ends at. So what we will do is we will represent like this. We put a. So this is the first call, and the second call. For this, we are only discussing about this example. So in the second call, it start at 3 and ends at 4. Okay, then the third call. Third call start at second as usual. So here it said it's continued till the fifth second. So from this one, we know that 3 is the maximum. So it's occur in two cases here. So 3 is maximum. All the three calls actually intersecting somewhere here, 2 and 3. So that's a maximum one. So we need to get that. So how we will get that? That's a thing we are going to solve on this. So let's see how we can solve this. So the first thing we are going to get here is the array. So the result should be the integer. So we will put like a public static int, then maximum, okay, maximum overlap. Okay, then inside that one we will get all the array elements of the calls. That's the first step for our problem. So here, and we will make it as an event actually. So we will make it as an event in this case of one. So this events means this include the call end and also the call starting thing. So that's the event. So event means it starts sometime, it ends sometime. So the end and the start and end are the events. Then the next one we need a follow. We are putting our calls into that event. So since you create a calls, it's your duty to put that into the event. So that's the second step. So we can complete that things. So I'm creating a start event for one, the first one, or since it is a for loop, so I assume the for index is one in the first iteration. So and the second iteration is going to be the next one, but still the same. I will get the start and end values. So here I'm getting for the first one, I'm getting first and three here. So that's fine. But right now I need to add the event. So events, we have events and we are adding that. And how we are going to add? We need an array on that event. And the array is like, if it is a start event, I will put one and I will put that here. So right now we have some problem here. It's not accepting this one. Why? Because we need to put new int. That's the only thing we need to think about. And here, since it is an int event, we are making it as a minus one. So that's part is done. So we are almost on the end of the solution. So um, it's we can find a solution right away right now. So we are using comparator here. So we are using a sort. So if we are using the sort, what's gonna be inside? So I will discuss that too before we are going to. So it should be a comparator. Comparable, not comparable. Comparable, we will be on the same class. But in this case, we are using a comparator. And comparator, how we can what? We can use the inline method implementation, and we will have two variables here. And the first one, we will check like a is equal to 0. So what is a? So two events are coming, and the first thing you are going to do is you are going to check whether that two events are similar. So if that two events are similar, what you are going to do is we are using compare, not compare to compare the first one. That should be this one, and the second one that should be this one. So what exactly happening here? So we need to understand that. So the first thing I'm comparing. So if we have a scenarios like this, 1 and 3 and 2 and 4, okay. So here I have 1 and 3. So when the event is coming, right? So when the event is coming, you will get 1, 1, and also you will get 3, 3 minus 1. So that's one pair. So it's going to be multiple multiple pairs. So in this case, 2 and 4. 2 and 4, what is going to happen? We'll get 2 and 1, and you will get 2 and 4. You will get 4, 4 minus 1. So the pairs are like this. Okay. So the pairs are like this, and you need to solve that pairs actually. So 1 and 3. So what exactly we are going to solve? So a0 and b0. So it's only concerned about this element. It's not only it's concerning about a0 and b0. That means this one. This is a0. This is a1. So if it is both are equal, so both are equal, it will compare the second element. So if any case it's coming like 2 and 1 and 2 and minus 1, it will compare this one. Otherwise it will compare the actual one. So it's just a sorting. So sorting, and what you are doing there is like, if the first element is equal, I'm sorting the second element. The first element is not equal, I'm sorting the first element itself. Based on the first element itself, I'm returning that. So that's the thing. Result of integer is ignore. So why it's ignore? You need to return. So that's the thing we are doing here. So it's sorting based on that. That's done, and we are going to the next step here. Maximum overlaps, and just put it as 0 initially, then in current overlap we can put that also as a 0 here. Then the next thing what we are going to do is, since we have all the events here, we are taking each event separately. Okay, so since event is an array of arrays or list of lists, whatever, so you can use arrays or lists, whatever is possible here. But in our case we are using the list, so even if it is list or array, both cases it will work the same thing. So what we are going to do is, so the event one, so current overlap. So any case we will have one actually. So what we are going to do is, we are making current overlap plus event one. So event one should be, what's going to be event one? Event one should be the end index. That's maybe 1 minus 1 or something like that. So uh, if it is starting, the current overlap will be 1. Okay, and you already sorted that one. So if there is anything coming on that one, it will capture here. So that's fine. Then you need to do that maximum overlap also here. So maximum overlaps match dot max. So this thing, always in all the cases we are using these things. I mean, most of the algorithmic questions using Java, these things are a necessity maths.max. So that's right. So right now, what we are going to do? So here we sorted, and we are going to this one, and we need to retain the maximum overlap. So what we are going to do after this is like we will debug the things, so we know how it's gonna work step by step. So that's the first thing we are going to do after completing these things. So right now, okay, so we made a small mistake here. So here, what is the problem is we did inside the for loop. So we the for loop, we forgot to close that for loop. The for loop will end here before the event sort. So I made a mistake here. So we will solve it. So I know in a public static void method, and I need an array. That are the two things that I am missing here. And we need an array declared here, and inside that array we should have number of arrays. So we will have one four, we will have two three. This is an example. So we will have 3 5, and we are going to see how it's gonna work in this scenario. So since the other one is a static program, static 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 method, we don't need to do anything. We can directly call that method from here, and we need to copy and paste that method here, pass the argument, you will get the result. So that's it. So we are going to the debug mode right now. So debug this one, we will see what we are going to get on this scale. So the first thing, so the calls, you have all the calls 1 4 2 3 3 5. You need to remember this. And the next thing, where I am going to the debug after the for loop. So you are adding all these values after the for loop. We are going to debug. So here you got all the events. So you have, since you have three items here, you will get all the first, second, and with the end index, and also with the start index. So right now we are going to see after the sorting what is the exact things happening here. So it will start with first -1, then 2 -1, 2 1, 3 -1, 3 1. The next thing, what's going to happen here? So we have all the events. So we know the events is sorted right now, and what's going to happen in the first step that we can see here. So here it's going to, so you can see the current event is 1 -1. So the current overlap is -1 because we are taking only the -1. So the math max is 0. So nothing we need to do in that case. And I'm going to run again to here. In this case, 1. So the maximum will be 0. So there is nothing on that. So Next is 2 minus 1. So what exactly happening here? So 2 minus 1 and 2 minus 1. So let's see what's going to happen in that case. So you got 2 and the maximum overlap still 0. We are again going with 2 1 and expect the similar scenario maximum overlap 0. So in all that cases, so there is no overlap. Okay, so what exactly we pass here? 1 4 2 3. So 1 4 and 2 3 are the input we are given here. So the 1 is shattered to 3. So this has one overlap. This has another overlap. But I'm wondering where I missed our fifth element. So I have 2 3 1 4 2 3 and 3 5. So I'm taking only the first element 1 2 3 5. I guess in our program there is some bugs, I guess. Probably we need to check that because the start is called 0. Probably correct. Call 0 and call 1. Yeah, that's a problem. So we need to check that things once again because we have a bug in our problem in our program. That's why it's not work as we expected. So right now we are running again. It's a small bug that we face and everything looks great. And here we got all the events. So in this case you'll have multiple 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 elements. So it started with 1 1 and 4 minus 1 another 1 and so on. So we are not care that much about that. So here, so right now after the sorting 1 and 1 came first and the second element will be the 1 and so for the example scenario starting with 1 and 4 but we have 1 and 4 2 and 3 and 3 and 5. So right now it's okay because it's coming in the order 1 2 3 4 5. So it's in order right now. So we are good right now. So we can go to the one first element. Let's see what's gonna happen. The first element is 1 and 1. So the overlap probably will be the 1. So the maximum overlap is going to be 1. Then we reach here. So if you click on this one, you can see the maximum overlap 1. So next one, the element is 2. Still the even 1 is 1. So that's also the starting point. So in that case also it's gonna be the maximum overlap is gonna be 2. So next element is 3, but the second index is second value is minus 1. So it's actually reducing this element's current overlap. So if you can see this one, currently the current overlap is 2 and the maximum overlap is 2. It's going to be the current overlap going to be 1. But still you have the maximum overlap. It's the same. There is nothing we need to do. So we are going back to the next iteration. Next iteration we got, so we discussed about the 3 right now. So right now 3 and 1 is coming. So 3 and why 3 and 1 is coming? You need to go to the here. So 3 and 1 is here. So 3 and 1 is coming, and it will add up that one to the current overlap because it's a starting one. So I'm going to this one, and still the current overlap is 2. It's saying like the maximum overlap is 2 itself. And the next is 4 and minus 1. So the 4 and minus 1, one call is ending here. So it will not add up into the overlap. So the overlap is going to be 1, and the maximum overlap will be 1 and 2. Then what's going to happen in the next one? So the next item is 5 minus 1. It's all ending event. So it's reducing this one. So it's reducing the current overlap. So the current overlap is 0 and the maximum still 2. So that's the way. So whenever a start is happening, it will record as a current overlap. It will add up into that, and we will find out the maximum overlap if there is anything other than current overlap is there. So that's the way these things are working. Whenever n things are happening, it will reduce from that overlap, current overlap, and find out the maximum. So it's a very simple things, and you can apply this logic in so many other problems also. So but we need to, yeah, we need to find out how we will do on that particular problems. So for this problem, this is the best approach to do that. So finding out, going through all this one, if it is a start, I'm putting a current overlap into this one value, and I am finding the second, I am taking the second elements and find whether that's a starting. If it is a starting, I'm just increasing the current overlap value, and if it is closing the call, I am reducing the overlap value, and I find out the maximum overlap. So it's a little bit tricky to find out this logic, and if you find out this logic, everything is fine. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day, and we will see you on next video. So this video took almost 30 minutes. Still, it's an interesting problem. So thank you for watching. Have a nice